Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you for watching us. My name is Madalina Vlad. I'm the CEO of MBV Group and I'm welcoming you today with a subject from the real life of a company here in Romania. And basically, I will tell you how we avoid the fine of 50,000 RON to one of our clients. We all may know that in accounting, a seemingly trivial mistake can lead to serious consequences. Why I am telling you this? Because sometimes avoiding to register something or forgetting to register something, it's not necessarily conscious, may lead either to fines, either to penalties and interests that you have to pay to fiscal authorities here in Romania, either to fiscal controls that are announced or not in advance. So you may have to, you should know what you have in your accounting, in your Romanian company's accounting, because for sure each one of you knows what is the profit that you may have, what are the incomes, what are the expenses, more or less. Is not necessarily 100% sure that this is how it should be as you have it, because you are not necessarily an accountant, but more or less should be on the area that you already have. So it's quite important to establish a good connection with your accountant to see if the company that you let them, it's kept okay, if they register everything that you sent, or if they do not, you need to ask them why do not register this, what are the problems. Basically, you need to know everything about your activity in accounting or for your Romanian companies. Today, I will tell you a real case from our practice here in MBV, in which you can see how important it is for you to have a good accountant, to have a proactive accountant near you, and that is really attentive to all the details that you have there. And what I will tell you further is about how we avoid a fine of 50,000 RON, which is more or less 10,000 euro, with a quick intervention and with a lot of work that we did, but that saved our cash flow of the client. So in this case, our client, it's a company in the food distribution field that has a lot of transactions, daily transactions that have 2 working points, and they have, of course, transaction on each working point daily. For several years, our client worked with an accounting company that registered all the documents without even asking something back. They just registered and that was all. Not like they understood everything that it was there, without having any question about the activity, about the financials, about the cash register, about anything. They just received the documents, put them in accounting, and that's all. Basically, there was no communication between our client and the accountant that he had before. This for the client worked quite well. He was not bothered by the accountant. He had no worries. He seemed to have the impression that everything works fine, until one day fiscal authorities here in Romania came and asked him some papers from accounting and some papers from the shop. Of course, when the fiscal inspectors received both accounting, bookkeeping, and the physical documents that were in the store, they identified a lot of problems. There were inconsistencies between accounting records and the real money that they found in there. So basically, during the preliminary control, the fiscal authorities observed just 3 that I will tell you, but there were more than this. And the first one is differences between declared and actual bank balances. The second one was lack of supporting documents for large payments. And the third one, but this is the smallest of all, is incorrect filling of tax declaration, especially 394, which reflects all the transactions on the Romanian territory. So, according to enough preliminary calculations, let's say, the client's company risked a penalty and fines about 50,000 RON. But not only this, it's not necessarily only the fine, they were also what they estimated to declare extra, in plus of course, for the tax on profit that it was where he had expenses that had no legal justificative documents inside. So basically this was the worst of all of them. Basically, the reason of this control was the suspicion of incorrect deductibility of some expenses, and that's why they said that the tax on profit, it will be much more higher than it was calculated by the previous accountant. Of course, that the client got scared and tried to find some solutions, and that's why he called us urgently. Our immediate intervention was for sure to make an internal audit to see if fiscal authorities are right or not. If indeed he deducted more than it was necessary, or he deducted some expenses that were not related with the field of activity of each company. But surprise, when we did our internal audit, not only that we found the supporting documents that he put it in his cash registers and that he deducted, and that initially the inspectors did not find because they were not in the files as it should have been. Also, some of the expenses were indeed for the company. Of course, there are some of them that should have been declared as personal expense, not company's expense, but there were 2 less and the amount was not so high, so it was something that the clients could sustain for in this purpose. This is also something that I would recommend to you to do as well. Do not confuse the money of the company with your personal money. Basically, from the company you can make expenses that are related with the company activity. Flight tickets, hotel, restaurants, and other things that are related to meetings, finding clients, and making all the business go and work okay. Of course that this depends on your field of activity, because what is deductible to my company may not be deductible to your company. So you should take a close look to this as well. On the other hand, if there are expenses that you may make it as personal that can be put on the company, do not hesitate to do this. I know that there are some accountants that are like this. They do not see left, right, and that they are trying to say that if you put this, for sure you'll have a control. No. If you have a justification for the expenses that you have there, no worry, it will be fine in each control that you may have or you may find. So, coming back to our client, in the end, what I did, it was like this. I drafted one justification document as point of view. Of course, this justification document was based on the documents that I already found in the company of the client. And after that, I submitted to fiscal authorities. On the same time, I reviewed all the declarations that were filled incorrectly, and I submitted some rectificative of this tax declaration. And for sure, I gave the client to pay what was in his interest, personal interest, but the amount was around 10,000 RON. So basically, from 50,000 RON to 10,000 RON, it's something that was in his pocket. And in the end, not only that he did not receive any fine, but he realized the importance of checking the accounting. because as I said in the beginning, it's really important for you to check as well, because you may think that in that quarter or in that month you have a profit of, I don't know, 10,000 RON, and in accounting you may have a loss, and you must understand why is loss, because it can be possible, because not everybody knows how to calculate depreciation and other things that are impacting the profit without you to know what is in there. But as I said, it's really important to have a good communication with your accountant, to call him, to establish a meeting at least, I don't know, once on 3 months, once 6 months, but to have one. This is how we do things here in MBV. We establish a connection with our clients. We discuss with them, not only when there is some problems, we discuss with them when we submit the annual financial situation, when we have some problems and we do not understand, because for sure in 2 files of more than 100 documents in there, you may have some question. It's almost impossible to know everything. That's why I train all the girls from my team to call the client, to ask clarification, to see what is in there, because otherwise you cannot understand what he is doing there, your client. And now in the end, just to present you a few conclusions of this incident and what you should do further, because this is a lesson for all of us, not only for this client. It's a lesson for all of us that do not get along with the accountant. The first one would be like this: don't wait an audit to check your accounting and your bookkeeping with your accountant. You should do this at least once a year. My second advice would be to work with professionals that don't just receive papers, but they have a fiscal thinking. They can help you in some directions. They can help you in deductions. They can help you in a lot of things. So look for the right fiscal consultant for you and accountant in the same time. The third advice would be to keep your justificative documents organized, please, because it's mandatory to be sent in once, all of them, not this week some, this next week another few, and so on. It's so hard for us as accountants to receive the papers for each client in tranches, in installments, in whatever, in steps, because we cannot keep record of all the times you will send some papers. That's why I ask you, or all of you that have company here in Romania, to be organized and to put all the papers together, because if it would have been the case, my client should have found in time all the justificative documents that he needed. And now in the end, what I may tell you is that accounting is not just a cost. Stop seeing it like a cost. See your accounting more like an protection for your company. And I'll give you another example which leads to bankruptcy of one company. One of our clients, of course, from construction field, worked with the people that he said that he bring that day on the field of the construction, but without letting us know. And he had 10 people there that did not declare on time. He wanted to declare on that day, but here in Romania the regulation are like this: you should declare any working contract one day before starting, so not in the same day. And due to the fact that the Labor Institute were there in the same day in which he brought the people, he received a fine of 200,000 RON, which means more or less 50,000 euro. This led to bankruptcy for that client and to closing the company, and of course to fiscal record, like a criminal record but fiscal, for not doing this properly. So that's why accounting is an investment and not a cost for you, and your accountant is your best counselor that you may have in order of fiscality. And now, if you have any type of question, if you want to establish a meeting with us, you'll find here in the in the description of this video, of course, a link in which you can set up a consultancy with us. You may put all the questions that you have here in the comment area, and of course you can call us or write to us at office@mbv-tax.ro or on my personal email madalina.vlad@mbv-tax.ro. So I'll be waiting all your questions, all your feedbacks with your accountants. Why not? And hopefully we'll see you and we can help you further with our expertise and our real cases that we may have. And basically like this, we may know how to help you. Thank you very much for watching. Big like and subscribe for the new ones. Thank you very much.